Hi, it's Wednesday. That means it's time for another video edition of Widower Wednesday. I'm Abel Keogh, author of the book Dating a Widower, and today we're going to talk about a widower's past and how much of that past should be part of your current relationship. The seed of this video was based on a question that was emailed to me that I'll read here in just a sec, and then I'm not going to read my response to him because I have a little bit longer response than what I actually sent to him, but I think it's a good question. I know this is one that causes lots of contentions, especially if you go on widower boards, online. Really strong and varying opinions on this. So this is again a good video for those widows and widowers who are dating again and getting into new relationships. Also a great video for those who are dating widows and dating widowers, because I think this is by far the biggest and most contentious issue you see in widower relationships. So the question I got goes like this. It says, Abel, when starting a new relationship, do you think it's acceptable to have a few photos or mementos of your late wife displayed, or should you eradicate all trace? So there it is. There's the thing. It's like how much stuff do you keep up there? And it's all about the past and loving the late wife. So first of all, and this is my universal answer just to anything, is it's always up to the couple, and it's something that they need to agree to. If both parties are fine with a picture or two up or trinkets or whatever, I don't have a problem with it. Again, every couple's a little bit different. So if you're dating someone and they're fine with a photo or two up, that's great. Leave it up. If they want stuff down and you want stuff up, then there's a problem. Really at the heart of this issue, and the problem I really have, is when widows and widowers are told how like photos and trinkets or mementos of the late wife make them feel like they're for example, like they're dating a married man or they're dating someone who's not ready to move on, is the defensiveness that they get, and that they just think that oh my gosh, he or she is trying to erase my past, erase the love I had for my late husband or my late wife, and you need to accept my past. I understand. So I'm coming from a slightly different spot than probably most listeners are to this. I'm a remarried widower, and I've been remarried for 17 years. So I'm farther along, I guess, in the grieving process, you could say, than most people listening to this. So what I'm going to ask the widows and widowers to do who are listening to this is just to think about things outside of your perspective, outside of losing a spouse for a minute. And I want you to ask yourself, are these people that you're dating who have a problem with whatever, photos, trinkets, ashes, again, whatever the issue is, I want you to ask yourself, are they really asking you to erase the past, or are they asking you to embrace the future? Because there's a difference there, right? Now, if they're asking you to erase the past, this is how I view erasing the past. It means, that they don't want you to talk about the late wife at all, or they're asking you to take down photos because they are trying to just eliminate anything. And that's not what I'm advocating, or that's not what I go. There is a time and a place to talk about the late wife and share memories and things like that. But really, most of the time, and again, most of the time here, not all the time, but most of the time, when the concerns are brought up about photos or mementos or things in your house that make the woman think that you're not ready to move on, really what they're asking you to do is embrace the present and the future. They're not asking you to hold them back. I guess one thing I would they're not asking you to erase the fact that you were married to this wonderful person for 20 years. Maybe something to ask yourself is, are you cognizant of how much you talk about the late wife, or how those memories like photos and trinkets or whatever subtly hold you back? I know in my relationship, does Krista come up from time to time? Yeah, she does. She came up a lot more often when we were first married, and now it's only occasionally. Julie knows I love Krista, but I don't let my love for Krista or my memories interfere with my love for Julie. And full disclosure, I don't have any pictures or anything of Krista up. That was something that Julie didn't ask me to do. It's something I did on my own. I think she probably would have asked me, if I had wanted to take a picture or two and put them up. We probably would have had a conversation at some point about, Julie may not have wanted that, but just so you know, it's something that I wanted to do on my own. Again, not because I was trying to to erase Krista, but because I wanted to give my marriage the best chance of success. And everyone has a past, and that's the thing that I know a lot of you are thinking right now as well. I have a past, and the older we get, the more of a past we have, right? And so, one thing maybe you want to think about here is if you want to bring the past into your current relationship, which I don't think is a good idea for any relationship, but if you want to bring the past into your current relationship, why aren't we bringing your entire past in? Why are we just focusing on one aspect of it? Say, for example, you had a substance abuse problem in the past. Should that be an active, invisible part of your current relationship? Have an AA chip or something like that, prominently, I don't know. I'm throwing it out there. Why isn't that a prominent part of your a relationship if it's part of your past? What if you declared bankruptcy at some point? Should that be an active part of your relationship? Any financial, if you had financial difficulties in the past. I'm not talking current financial difficulties. What if you had major financial difficulties 2 years ago or 5 years ago? Should that be an active part of your relationship? Do you really want dumb things you did as a teenager or in your 20s, to be part of your relationship? I know I don't. Why are we only putting some parts of the past in here? If you're a girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever, spouse, a person you're dating, if they have past boyfriends, so if you're a widower and the woman you're dating has past boyfriends, she obviously has a past too. Should they be part of your marriage? Shouldn't maybe she put a picture of her past, or maybe her ex-spouse or a past boyfriend up because, just a reminder, man, I'm glad I'm rid of that guy. Should that be part of it? Now, I know some of you are thinking that, losing a spouse that you love isn't the same thing as a divorce or substance abuse or bankruptcy or stupid things you did as a kid. And okay, I disagree, but what I'm going to ask you to do is to run a test here. Okay, here's a test I want you to run, and let's do it. We're going to do it with all these things that I talked about. So again, let's say you had a substance abuse problem in the past. How does, say, talking about that substance abuse problem or having visible reminders of that problem, does that strengthen your current marriage? Or your current relationship, marriage, relationship, whatever? Does that strengthen your current relationship? I think most people would say no. If you had financial, again, we talked about a bankruptcy or something. Do you think actively discussing that bankruptcy and things that happened in the past, do you think that would strengthen or weaken your current relationship? I think most people would say that it would weaken the relationship. What about all the dumb things you did as a teenager in your 20s, all the dumb things maybe you did in your youth? If you were to constantly talk about those or have reminders of those on display, maybe, I don't know, maybe you shoplifted and went to jail or something like that. But constantly talking about that and, I don't know, having your mugshot up there, would that strengthen your current relationship? Probably not, right? Again, how would, if the person you're dating or married to, if they've had a picture of an ex-boyfriend or an ex-spouse, displayed in your bedroom or on the wall, would that strengthen your relationship? I think most people would say no, it doesn't strengthen your relationship. So then I'm going to ask the question, and again, I've asked this question for years of widows and widowers, never got a good answer to it. How does having photos or trinkets of your past marriage strengthen your current relationship? How does it strengthen it? Again, I agree, we all have a past, and sometimes our past is yucky and sometimes it's not too bad, but we all have a past, and that doesn't mean though that the past should be part of the present. And again, I'm not advocating by any means, forgetting, the 20 years you were married and all those wonderful things. What I'm asking you is, are you able to focus on the blessings and the wonderful person that you have in your life now? Because if you can tell me, and again, leave a comment, email me, you guys can get hold of me. I'm not that hard to get hold of. If someone can tell me, a widow or widower out there, how having photos and memories of the late spouse strengthens your relationship, lay it on me, because I've had this challenge out there for years, and I've still had anyone give me a good example of how it's made their current relationship stronger, because let's be honest, it doesn't. So, and I know there's a few of you are thinking out there, well, I have kids. I don't want their kids to forget their mom or whatever. Okay, yeah, I totally understand that. And again, if you're familiar with my advice, my thing is if you have minor children living at home, I have no problem with a picture of the late spouse, the late wife, whatever, in your children's room. I don't have a problem with that. I think especially if they're old enough and they want a picture or two, let them pick a picture or two that means a lot to them and put it in there. Don't have a problem with that. Again, we're not talking about erasing the past. What we're talking about is embracing the present and the future and embracing the relationship that you have now. Again, we all have a past. We've all done dumb things. I've done dumb things. All had things I don't, we've all made mistakes and we've all made good decisions, but that doesn't mean that all those things should be part of your current relationship at all. So again, I'm going to go back to that question that was asked to me at the beginning when starting a new relationship. Do you think it's acceptable to have, photos and mementos of your late wife displayed, or should you eradicate all trace? Well, my answer is no. I don't think it's acceptable to have photos or mementos of your past relationship displayed because it's going to hurt your relationship. Does that mean you eradicate? I don't like the phrase eradicate all trace because that's really not the purpose of this. If there's things you want to keep, put them in a box. Put them in a box, and if you need to go, put it on a shelf somewhere. And if every once in a while you need to go look at the pictures or relive some memories, that's 100% okay. You can do that once in a while. Again, I have boxes of stuff I haven't looked at them in years, but there's pictures and memories and all kinds of wonderful stuff in there. But I don't need those things to get in the way of the love I have now and the family that I have now. I don't think. And I'll ask the widows and widowers out there. When you're in your marriage to your late spouse, did they have to see pictures of your ex-boyfriends or girlfriends? How come they got your whole heart and attention? How come you can't do that to another person? I think your new boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever. Your new spouse, they deserve the same respect that you gave your late spouse. They deserve your whole heart, your whole love, your whole attention. That shouldn't be a controversial statement. Because if you want, again, I'm married. The divorce rate of widowed people is extremely high. 2/3 of marriages to widowed people end in divorce. That's way high, and the main reason is that the widowed people can't let go of the past. So if you've been lucky enough in your life to find, some people can't even find love once in their life. If you've been lucky to find love twice, don't let that go to waste. We're not asking you to eradicate all trace. Pack stuff up. Put it in a place where you can look at it once in a while. If that's something you need to do, that's fine. But make the person that you're dating, make your wife, your spouse, your new spouse, the number one person in your life. The past just gets in the way. Focus on the present. Prepare for the future. It's beautiful. It can be if you want. I'm Abel Keogh, author of the book Dating a Widower. Leave a comment below. Feel free to subscribe to this channel, and I will see you next Wednesday.